Let's see. So I'm a few minutes early because I was trying to work out the technology. So I think we've got it. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Rhythm Radio, where we come together weekly to talk about the different ways we can create positive, healthy rhythms in our life to look and feel our best. And today I'm talking about a time management technique. I don't even like that phrase anymore. Time management seems old school, but it is a way to manage your time that has been recommended to me for many years. And I've always been resistant to it. And I've decided to start playing it with it this year. And lo and behold, it works. So I have had business coaches and books that I've read and programs that I've taken talk about this for years. And I was just like, no way, that won't work for me. I want to go with the flow a little bit. And you probably already know, if you've listened to any of my videos before, that I am a very organized person. I strive to be, and I love planning and making lists. So why I would be resistant to this, I don't know. But I also don't like being like, structured into a box too much. So this is for you if you ever get to the start of your day and you don't know where to begin. Sometimes it feels very overwhelming, like, where do I start? What do I do first? And it's kind of like very haphazard as to what you do. It may also be for you if you get to the end of your day and you think, what the heck did I do all day? I feel overwhelmed. I've been busy all day, but I actually kind of feel defeated because I was busy, but I don't really feel like I accomplished much. And I have found both of those things happening to me. So whether you have projects at work that really vary quite a bit, or you have like a random mass of different chores around the house, what can be very helpful is theming your days. Now, wait, keep listening. It can help you be more in control of your days and actually add consistency, which makes things a lot more efficient, but it also has a very profound effect in your brain. And that's one thing that I've been reading about more and more lately. So themed days kind of takes the guesswork out and it minimizes decision fatigue. We've all heard the story of Steve Jobs, why he wore the same black turtleneck or t-shirt every day, is to minimize decision fatigue so he could focus on what really matters. And when you theme your days, you can really focus on what you need to tackle each day of the week. So I'm going to first share a couple of reasons why this can be important. First of all, it can help you prioritize what is truly important to you. We all have big priorities, big dreams that drive us. Maybe you want to create a podcast, you want to write a book, you want to plan a great vacation, you want to redecorate your home, whatever it might be. It doesn't have to be work related. Um, but because those bigger priorities can get lost in the clutter of daily life, then we miss out on what's truly important to us. So, for example, I have written a lot in my career. I have a lot of articles that I've published, and I have a couple of books that are half written. And even though I say that that's a priority for me, I actually don't put aside time to devote to that. And then a couple of years ago, one of my friends who was also wanting to write more, we set a monthly writing date. And that was so helpful because I actually cranked out so much more when I had that ongoing writing day scheduled. So the first thing to do as far as theming your days is to really look at the important pieces of your life. And we'll talk about that in a moment. And then assign things a specific day or maybe even a half day. Now, this allows you to get into the deep work and stay there. I read the book Deep Work by Cal Newport last year or a couple of years ago, and he talks about being in a flow, which is a state of intense single-minded focus on your work. And when we do that, we actually can work so much more efficiently, and it really helps our brain. If we're doing bouncing from project to project, our brain, as awesome as it is, it can't ever get into that flow state, much less stay there when you're bouncing from one thing to another. Now, maybe the nature of your work is, I have one of my best friends owns a retail store. So yes, of course, it's going to be addressing and servicing customers as they come in. But there are also many other factors involved with owning a business, even a retail business, that can be themed. So theming your days means you can get into that deep work state and stay there. And you can stay in that flow state because you've already chosen and identified your priorities and you've given them long stretches of time to those things that matter. Another reason why they're helpful is you don't have to stress about what you're not doing. So what I mean by that is when you theme your days, you've already made an executive decision about what to do when, and the choice is made. You become the CEO of your time. You become an intentional designer of your life. You're creating the rhythm. You are the composer. You don't have to keep making and remaking decisions. And imagine working on a project uninterrupted and not having to have that feeling that you're forgetting something else or something that's important. You are just in the zone and you're concentrating, and you can say, yes, this work is important, and those emails, they're going to be for another time. So no more stress like this when you theme your day. The next reason why theming your day can be important is it can help you be more intentional and limit admin time. So I used to tackle any little admin thing like adding a person to my email mailing list as it came along. And I was like, it's like a rave in my mind, right? And for many jobs, especially creative ones, admin work can be compressed, right? It's necessary work, but if you don't create some boundaries with it, it can just eat up your time and your brain space. And again, our brains are so cool, but they operate better when we get into this flow state. So I actually like to batch those things and try to knock them all out once. Like I call it my power hour, where I take anything that's going to be under 5 minutes or under 10 minutes and just power them all out at once so that I'm not completely switching gears all the time. I never know on Instagram, Facebook combo, where to look. Where do I look? I'm looking at both of you guys. Love you. So your first task to do this would be establishing the themes that you need for your week. And those are going to vary depending on your situation. So you want to think that through and maybe brainstorm. So I'm going to give you an example of how I use this for this year. Again, I was so resistant to this idea for many years. Do not lock me into a theme. And I'll be honest, I don't follow it religiously, and maybe I never will, but just having that framework and following it even 50 to 70% of the time really, really helps. So my current themes in my business, Monday is a creation day. So it is about creating, and there are so many program ideas and content ideas and blog posts and video ideas that I have during the week randomly, like when I'm in the shower or I'm out walking or practicing yoga, and I just kind of file them away because I don't necessarily devote time to creating the new things on a regular basis. And let's face it, creation of content for me in my business is one of my most important things. So Monday is a creation day. That means I can just tune out the world, not really schedule a lot of meetings, and work on that content. Things like writing my newsletter, creating all my social media posts for the week, writing new program copy, writing marketing copy. Right now on Mondays, I'm spending a lot of time with designing my new website, everything that has to do with creation. Tuesdays and Thursdays for me is connection days. They are connection days. And that means I see clients on those days. I run 2 mastermind groups that I'm a facilitator for, and those come on those days. I have networking groups that I go to, and I will go to those on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And does that mean that I won't go to a networking event on another day, on a Wednesday? Of course not. But I know that I'm batching the majority of my connection times, and so those hopefully now that we're getting out more, will be the times where I'm kind of like out and about, and I'm out dressed for the day, ready for the day, or even virtually ready for the day on Zoom, and I'm connecting with people. Wednesday for me is an education day, and that is me providing education. So that's when I'm offering courses, I'm doing one-on-one consults with essential oil potential clients or prospects, anything that does, with education. So really doing this video every week is an education opportunity. So I'm kind of batching my education projects on Wednesdays. And then finally, Friday. I've always preferred to not schedule meetings or clients or prospects on Fridays. Does it happen? The last 2 Fridays, I had wellness consultations with people on essential oils and brought on new clients because that was the day that was good for them. Of course, we have to adapt, pivot, as we know, is the word for the last year. But generally, Fridays, the first half of the day, I like to spend on my own personal development. So I just finished a course that doTERRA had on social media and finished that. I'm taking one on deepening with the plants. It could be a marketing class. I'm doing some great classes on the master class website. So I spend a little bit of time on Friday morning on personal development, and then Friday afternoon is my artist date. So if you're familiar with Julia Cameron, you'll know the concept of the artist date, and that's really when you kind of step away from everything, and you don't have to necessarily do art, although I have been trying to play with that a little bit. It could be for a long time until this past year, it was going to a movie by myself on Friday afternoon. It could be going to the farmer's market and just wandering around, taking in the sights and the smells. It is often going to the infrared sauna, so it could involve some self-care or nurturing. It's a way to recharge, to wrap up the week. And so that is a great way to kind of close the week for me. So that is how I theme my week for business. Creation on Mondays, connection on Tuesdays and Thursdays, education for others on Wednesday, and Friday, personal development for myself, and then letting those creative sparks fly. So you might find that these themes could work for home improvement or maintenance. It could be meal planning and prep. We tend to do that. Sunday mornings is the meal planning and prep time because generally we're grocery shopping on Sunday at some point and we plan out the meals for the week and know what we need to get at the store. Then do we follow that all the time? Do we eat exactly what we said we we're going to eat on Thursday night? Absolutely not. But we do have it, set out in advance. Maybe it's for errands or bill paying or like I said, your admin tasks, whatever it might mean for you. Choose the themes that you want to incorporate into your week. And I like to do it 5 days, like Monday through Friday, for business, just to keep me on track. But you could do less, or you could do half days. So once you have those themes, you could color code them in your Google Calendar. I'm a paper planner person, as many of you know, so I will kind of color code it in there. And it's just as simple as putting your themes into practice then. It will help you become more efficient, for sure, and productive if you actually do the work. But it also really makes a change in your brain. As I said earlier, it reduces decision fatigue and you don't have to jump between unrelated tasks and start thinking, from scratch every single time. You're able to concentrate on tasks better and be working in a more organized and focused way. So I encourage you to give it a try. The result really is deep work on what matters most to you and no more stressing about the work that you've assigned to another time. You know that tomorrow is connection, so I will be answering all the emails. So you're just going to use that kind of approach. So I would love to hear from you if you work with this approach of themed days. I would say I started this in the beginning of the year, again, after years of resisting it. And it's really helped me to get more done. But more than that, it's helped to reduce overwhelm and then not be thinking about other things while I'm working on the task at hand for that day. Because I know there is this space for getting to it. So it doesn't have to eat up energy in my brain. So if you have read the book Deep Work by Cal Newport, I'd be curious to hear if you put into any practices, techniques or strategies that help you really do more deep work, more deep quality work. That's what works for me so far. Again, still, not quite at 100% here, but I have found it to be really effective. So thanks for listening to today's Rhythm Radio. Thanks for bearing with me while we try to do dual live streams here. We're just always improving, and I think I need maybe a theme of a technology day because that's where I really need some help. But have a beautiful and radiant day, and thanks for listening.